Hello and welcome to Normal to Formal Podcast, episode number 30. I'm your host, Tia Young. I'm the founder of Tia Young Image and Etiquette. I help my clients learn the soft skills for success through professional development and etiquette training. The topic for today's podcast is resolutions for 2022. All right, Happy New Year, everyone. And I know it's this time of year, the beginning of the year, when we all decide we're going to make a difference and make a change in what we normally would do for the better, of course. And I want to share a few of my resolutions or things I want to continue to do or do better in 2022. I think my slogan I mentioned before is do you in 2022. So whatever makes you happy, whatever makes you strong, whatever makes you better, do those things in 2022. So a list of the things I want to do, not necessarily in this order, but of course, the first one is keeping God first. Through prayer, through attending church, through meditation, however you stay connected with God, do that. And then you'll be more centered. What I like to do is listen. I like to listen to Joyce Meyer in the morning on television. I like Joel Osteen. Of course, I like T.D. Jakes. So just hearing the word, starting your day with that, because the news can be crazy when we listen to it and so many bad things happening in the world. We want to hear something encouraging for the day. And I always wake up grateful and thankful for another day. So keeping God first and foremost. Also, family. No matter how busy we are with everything else in our lives, we got to make sure we keep family right underneath God. If you have a choice between spending time with your family or doing something for work, of course, you want to spend time with your family. So whenever you can touch someone and being face to face, cherish those moments when you can go and spend that quality time. We do have to be careful because of COVID. We don't want to spread anything. Sometimes people don't know that they are positive. So making sure you're careful if you are out face to face wearing that mask. But make sure you cherish those relationships with your family. They're not going to be here forever. Then we want to focus on work. Whatever work you do, make sure you do it 100%. What I do is my passion, teaching etiquette and social skills and making people better in whatever the way they feel that better is. Polishing those social skills, making sure they're confident in whatever they do. So I love it. I've been doing it now for over 20 years and I really, really enjoy it. So I have to make that time to come in my home office and spend those a couple hours. And I'm not good at doing that because I multitask because I work from home until I go out in person and teach a class. But most of my work is behind the scenes, just like this podcast. I made a resolution for myself actually to do it weekly, which I started doing it weekly when I started March 2020. And then I fell off and not doing it as often. So one of the things I want to do is do it weekly. And not monthly and not every few months, but weekly. So I need you to hold me accountable to that, doing my podcast every week. And I'm learning and growing. And one thing I want to start doing is taking questions from listeners and then eventually start doing video podcasts rather than just the audio. And started a YouTube channel at Mrs. Tia Young. And I want to start putting those video podcasts there. And so people can kind of see who I am and what I look like. All right. So we have God, family, and work. Next, healthy eating. I can work out all day long, but if you eat wrong, it's going to mess up everything you've done. So healthy eating. And I every year I say I'm going to do it. We have those favorites. Two of mine are Lay's potato chips and Coca-Cola. All right. So I love the salty snacks and I've always loved Coke. I'm not a sweet. My husband and my daughters, they like the sweeter snacks, but I like the salty snacks. So learning not to always want to indulge in those things. And of course, I love fried food. Chick-fil-A, one of my favorite places. I tend to get the salad most of the time, but it's still high in calories. The Cobb salad with the chicken, like the chicken nuggets cut up in that. And I like the nuggets and I like the the frosty drinks with the coffee one and, and the French waffle fries. Oh my God, my mouth is watering now and I can't have it. But just having that willpower to say, if I do have it, I'm going to have a little bit or maybe not as often. So still treat yourself or you're going to go crazy. Just cut back on the more fatty foods and focus more on the healthier foods, eating those vegetables and those lean meats and fish. I love seafood, but still not too much because they can be fatty as well. Chicken, seafood, and I still love steaks every now and then and pork chops and all those things, but in moderation. So being more aware of what I'm actually eating is another one of my resolutions, and drinking water. Now, I do like to drink socially wine or cocktails and things like that, but it's a lot of calories. So I told myself if I don't drink my minimum amount of water per day, and I've heard whatever your weight is, for instance, if you're 150, try to drink at least half of that in ounces of water. So 75 ounces of water. So I'm not going to tell you my real weight, but it's not 150. It's actually a little higher. But anyway, try to drink that or more. And then once you drink that amount per day or week when you calculate it out times 7, then you can have a cocktail, a glass of wine or beer, whatever you like. So keeping that healthy eating and drinking throughout the year as much as possible. Then, of course, exercise. Well, I get my daily exercise. I have 2 doggies, Hunter and Harley, that I have to walk every day, actually 3 times a day. So I get my walking in there. But I also heard that strength training helps also to burn calories. So getting that exercise in with the walking, but then also working out. I love Zumba as well, but I haven't been able to do it as much, and I don't feel as comfortable now with COVID coming in and out. So I don't like really being in gyms as much as I had in the past. So what we have a gym in our home upstairs, and my husband just bought the tonal machine, TONAL, and that's amazing. We've only had it about a month or so, and I love it. It's kind of like you put it on the wall. It kind of reminds me like the mirror, but it has straps attached. Monitors how much weight you need to be using. It's all within that one system that's on the wall. And it's added straps, and it's added a bar, and it's added a rope so you can pull, and it adjusts to your weight. It assesses you when you first start, so it knows how much weight you can handle. And I absolutely love it. I can see actually a few results after just the 2 weeks that I've been using it. So I love it, and I'm hopefully going to continue and stay nice and look good in my clothes. That's the most important thing for us, right? To look good in our clothes. And don't feel like we're having to pull and tug on something because it's too tight. So I'm going to continue with that. And then hopefully that makes a big difference. But when I combine that with healthy eating and then the exercise as well and the water, I'm going to be where I want to be. A nice average weight for myself. Not too low, not too high, of course, but that happy spot. The next thing on my list I have is read more. Read more. I've never been an avid reader. I have tons of books on my bookshelf. A lot of them are etiquette books. But also when I was a flight attendant on the airplane, when we weren't working, when we've already served the food, we have time to kind of sit before we had to do the next service. I did international travel, and so it was a long flight, 8, sometimes 9 hours, and you had a lot of time when you're not serving. So I would always have a book. I would have 2 or 3 books, and I would always read the African American authors. So I read quite a bit of great authors during those years. But then also I love self-help type of books as well. Reading more. I love Christian books. Audible is one that I think I might sign up for, but I like the in the hand book. I like the feel of the book in my hand, and so I can highlight and take notes. So my goal, at least once a month, complete a book. And the one I want to read next, I've been hearing good things about. It's called The 4 Agreements. So I want to read that and practice what it says to do in that book. So anything that's going to help me be better, I want to read. So reading more. Less TV, of course. Turn off that TV, because one thing, I'll just let the TV run in the background a lot of times, and it's not really healthy. If it's not going to help me, I need to be doing something else productive. And then, of course, less social media. So reading more, less TV, less social media. Get off that Facebook and Instagram. I can be on there all day looking at people dance and doing on the reels and Instagram, trying to figure out how to do these dances. But is that making me better? Well, it might be a little exercise, but I'm watching him, but I'm not doing them myself. I want to learn one of those dances. So whoever knows how to do those dances on those reels, please show me. And then one thing that I think is very important is small acts of kindness and also paying it forward. What can we do for someone else? You know, during the end of the year, I cleaned out my closet. So I'm always cleaning it out, purging, because you buy more. When I feel like I'm buying more to bring in the house, I need to take things out to make room for them. My closet has fallen several times because it was too heavy. And it feels so good to give and donate to someone else. I also donate to Dress for Success as well as Goodwill. So just doing what you can for others without expecting anything in return. And it feels really good to do that. Another small act of kindness or paying it forward is leaving snacks on my porch for delivery workers, the mailman, things like that. Giving a nice little card, a gift card. But on my porch, I leave water and snacks. And it just says, please take and thank you for your service. And when I see things missing out of that little box, it makes me feel so good. It's like, oh my God, they took it. They really want it. And so that makes me feel good to do that as well. So anything we can do, people do it at Starbucks. You're in line at Starbucks and the person paid it forward and paid for your drink or whatever you ordered and you're behind them. So maybe you do that to the person behind you and they don't even know who you are. You're already gone by the time they get to the window. So it just feels good to do that. Also, philanthropy. My husband and I, we try to give back to the community with donations to charities, sponsoring different events and things like that over the years. It just feels good to give back to different groups, organizations throughout the years. And then one last thing that we can't forget, self-care. We do so much for everyone else that most times we don't take enough time for ourselves. Take some time to relax, to hang out with your girls or your boys, to go to the beach, to have a picnic, meditate, but take that time to slow down where you don't have anything on your agenda. I like just looking at water sometimes, at a lake, a beach, just looking at the water. Mountains when we're traveling, it's just seeing mountains because being from Florida, you don't see mountains. So when you see it and you travel, it's like, wow, these are so beautiful. So taking that time, my sister Felicia and I, over the holiday break, went to the spa. She said, I'm going to be in town. She lives in Houston. I'm going to be in town, book something at a spa. And I'm not big on spas because I always feel like it's so much extra money. But oh my gosh, we went. We had our treatments, our robes. It was beautiful. It was the JW Marriott here in Tampa. And it was, oh my God, amazing. I have to do it more often. She's got me hooked. And it was a wonderful experience. And we had lunch afterwards. And then we went shopping too. So the spa day, which had lunch and shopping. Oh my God, it was amazing. And it just made me feel really good to do that. That massage and facial. And she got a couple treatments and just talked and relaxed and catching up with each other. But make sure you take time for yourself. So resolutions for 2022, whatever you remember, do you in 2022. My list has God, family, work, healthy eating, which is water also, exercise, reading more, less TV, less social media, small acts of kindness and paying it forward, philanthropy, and self-care. So those are my resolutions. So share with me what your resolutions will be for 2022. Thank you so much for listening to Normal to Formal podcast today. Please join me next week for another episode. I can be found on any of your favorite podcast platforms. So please subscribe, comment, and share. You can follow me at Mrs. Tia Young on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Mrs. Manners on LinkedIn. My website is tiayoungimage.com. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.